It has been a hot minute since we've talked to Aaron Nagler, but over at Cheesehead TV, the Packer talk never stops. Good to reconnect with you, Mr. Nagler. How has your summer been?
It's been fantastic, Zabe. Great to be here with you, Butch, Josh, the crew. It feels like no time has passed. It honestly feels like we blink and we're right back at it, ready to welcome the boys back into the fold for training camp in less than 2 weeks. I'm excited. I know you are too. I can't wait just to be there in Green Bay and see your lovely face. That's what I'm about.
All right, and that's gonna be great. You're wearing a Power of Love 10 shirt jersey, jersey thing. It's got the Back to the Future Huey Lewis title track Power of Love font. And it's got the number 10 on a simple green shirt. You've skirted all the trademarks possible there, so I think you're safe, which is good. And it's great. Power of Love. Josh, you've already done the puppy dog eyes for one of those shirts.
I really didn't. I just complimented the shirt.
Yeah, there was puppy dog eyes.
You weren't even here, Butch. You don't even.
You saw it transpire.
You got a brewer. This is amazing what Josh has gotten in 3 hours. By the way, a brewer captain hat. He's trying to get the shirt that Murphy's got because he talked to Levering, and now he's trying to get this shirt all within 3 hours.
Oh, you want the Undaunted shirt too?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we don't even know if that exists.
I don't know if it exists.
Someone's made it. Come on. There's no way. If there was a Brewers Head TV, let me tell you, Undaunted shirts would be out the door already. Come on now.
All right. So the Power of Love shirt can be had where at Cheesehead TV?
At Cheesehead TV shop. If you go to cheeseheadtv.com, on the top of the website, there's a shop button that you can hit, and you'll find that and tons of other great Packers adjacent merchant. It's good times. Right. Good times.
The power of leverage. There's where I start with Jordan Love. How much leverage do you think he and his agents are going to apply to the Green Bay Packers for this extension? And when is it going to get done? What is your latest DEFCON level of should I be worried?
I'm not worried at all. I suspect it will be done prior to camp starting on the 22nd. That's what I've said all summer long. Not changing now. I know as we get closer, Packers fans are starting to get a little nervous. I've certainly gotten more and more inquiries in my Twitter mentions, in my inbox, etc. I don't think we're even approaching DEFCON yet. I think, to your point, is there, negotiation going on? Yeah, absolutely. I suspect they probably have had taken a break over the holiday weekend, the 4th of July weekend, probably regrouped starting this week, and probably going to hammer out those details and have it done prior to training camp starting. Now, you talk about leverage. There's no doubt in my mind that, athletes first, the representation for Jordan Love, they are not going to just give this away, right? It is going to be an eye-popping figure. I think it's going to be maybe not record-setting, but it's going to be a big, big deal, a big contract. And the one thing, and I talked about this a little bit last night on our show, where if they don't get a deal done, the one kind of leverage lever that they can pull is Jordan Love not showing up for training camp. I don't think it's going to come to that. But if you're athletes first, you're Jordan Love, and you're heading into this final year of your deal, where Jordan sits as far as he's one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. He showed that. He demonstrated that over the course of the second half of last season. You don't want a twisted ankle, a bum accident, you knock knees and something happens, some freak accident at training camp that then absolutely obliterates your ability to get that deal. I'd be very surprised if a deal didn't get done, but if it doesn't, I also wouldn't be surprised if Jordan Love doesn't show up for camp.
When is he supposed to show up? Because the schedule says the 17th for rookies and quarterbacks. Is he part of the and quarterbacks?
He would be.
So 17th is less than a week.
Yep, absolutely.
Tick tock, tick tock. For those that
a lot of ball game left, Zabe.
A lot of ball game left. The classic Nagler saying.
I agree though, Nag. I do think this is
okay. So the one thing that I get a lot from people is, oh my God, you don't want it. What if he's not as good as we think, and you pay him this massive contract?
Got a lot of that.
I say, okay. Who was the last team that shipwrecked themselves on a deal like that? The answer is it doesn't happen. I bring up Carson Wentz and Jared Goff. Wentz got a huge deal with the Eagles. he then turned into a pumpkin. They're like, what happened? How did you stop? Learn? You can't even play. They got out of that deal and they rebounded in no time flat. Same thing for Goff in LA. Turned into a fish. They're like, what are we going to do? They flip him for Stafford. Now Goff has got back on his legs. So I don't want to say a team's salary cap is unbreakable with a bad quarterback contract, but I'd say it's pretty close.
I don't know, man. I think there's some people, some fans here in New York of the New York Football Giants who may disagree with you. I mean, well, the Giants are in a bit of purgatory with Daniel Jones, and I do think that is the one deal that I kind of get name checked when fans talk about being worried. Like you hand over a deal like that, and that comes down to the negotiation, though, right? As far as your ability to get out of the deal,
but
like the Giants locked themselves in. You know?
They locked themselves in because they were panicked. Like, if we don't re-sign him, we've got no quarterback. We've got no succession plan in place. But if they had just accepted a year of kind of sucking, they would have had somebody like Drake May, who apparently in this off-season Hard Knocks was vibing with Brian Daboll. I saw in the clips yesterday, like, oh, he would have been great. Doesn't mean anything, by the way. We don't know how he's going to be as a player, but it doesn't.
Good. You're right about that.
All right, so
that's the one kind of thing you can point to, right? Where you're like, that team sure feels like it has buyer's remorse, and that doesn't mean that that's going to happen with Jordan Love. And my thing, people keep talking about, oh, you only have one half a good season. Like the first half of the season was bad. It's like, can you go back and actually watch the season if you're going to cast these aspersions? I mean, he played very well in spurts in the first half of the year. Yes, it was rough. It was rough out in Vegas, no question about it. He had a rough outing here or there along the way. But, man, he came out guns a-blazing against the Bears. He actually played pretty damn well in Atlanta. Like, everyone thinks, like, the first half was, quote, so bad. But it's like, no. He played a high level for a first-time starter. And at the second half, of like from week 9 on, he was one of, if not the best quarterback in football. That's progression. That's where you're headed, and that's where the Packers want to get locked in.
And I'm serene about the whole thing. How much money he gets, I don't care, because as LaFleur said, and I agree, he's about the right things. I have gauged that as well. Just watching him, listening to him, this kid is about the right things. He's going to be fine. Butchie.
He is, and I think that's the thing that we look at with this team. I think the deal's going to get done, and you're going to have to live with it for a little bit, and you're going to have to evaluate. And you hope that at some point there's not a regression. We don't think there will be. We don't know. Like, and that's the reality of this. Like, you don't know. Are you going to have the first half of the season where it's a roller coaster, or are you going to have elite play every game? As Packer fans, we've been spoiled. We've become used to elite play every single game.
A little bit.
For my entire time as a Packer fan, from far, even though he would throw some dumb interceptions, like you expected elite play, and you knew you had a chance to win every single game on every single Sunday. But when you look at this team, the rest of what they've done, conversation, Jordan Love, but the rest of it, that's what you should be excited about. What's the biggest move that you look at right now as you head into training camp with the biggest question mark, though, that's still out there?
It's a really good question. I think it's fun to look at all the youth, right, and the promise. But yeah, you do, Butchie, every time. Nothing but heaters. You look at the youth and the promise, and that's exciting, right? You look at the upside, and it seems unlimited. But, man, nothing is linear. Like, we're all excited about the young rookie wide receivers getting into the second year, but nothing's a given as far as their progression goes. And I hope Packers fans, I know they won't, but I hope they're a little patient when they go out there maybe in Brazil or week 2 against the Colts and things aren't 100%, in lockstep. Like, that's part of the gig. That's part of how teams grow, units grow together. Like, it's not going to be, we're just going to show up and put 50 on you like we're playing Madden online.
No, I'm sure the fan base will be patient and wait.
Yeah, that's a fair point, Josh. You are correct. They're renowned for their patience.
Completely understanding. This takes time.
But Butch, to your point, like, it's just, that's the one thing where I think the roster, you look at it across the board on paper, and that's all it is paper right now, is really good. And I think it has the potential to contend. But, man, a lot of things have to go the right way for that to happen, and that's not a given.
I don't want a lot this year. I just want top 5 in sacks, turnovers, and yards allowed by Hafley's savage young defense. I want this to be the year of the monstrous Packer defense, in addition to having an offense that whirs and hums like a finely tuned machine.
I've always said, Zabe, you are a greedy man. I just
That's
want
all I want.
Consistency on defense. I want defense that when they go out there at the end of the game after the offense has got them a hard-fought lead late in the fourth quarter, that the moment the defense treads out on the field, my heart isn't sinking and thinking, well, that's it. Game over.
All right.
We're going to lose. Like, I just want a defense that allows me to think that they can compete in the crunch. Yeah. That's it. That's all I want. That's not a lot.
I want a defense that's going to people up. All right.
Yeah.
Every now and then. Maybe not every single week, but every now and then it's like we up in your right now.
Yeah.
And it's
been a long time since that existed in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Nagler, two things for you to know about. Brian Butch did not know what fib stood for until Tuesday morning when we told him.
That is a true
an
statement.
Incomprehensible fact.
Wow.
And this song he had never heard before and didn't know that Stevie Nicks was a woman.
Wait, what?
Yeah. But, and also a true statement.
What? Like everything up until that moment, I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like that can happen. The Stevie Nicks thing, what?
I don't do music.
He picked this as his banger, and you, as a guy who loves and appreciates great music, would maybe say it is or isn't a banger, but it's one of the all-time iconic songs and one of the all-time iconic bands. And Brian Butch was floating around in life at 40 years old, never having heard of them.
Yeah, or her, or a fib.
Well, they see the fib. I get it. Like fib. I understand how you can get through life and not know about it. Like whatever, I'll buy that. But like the Stevie Nicks thing, I'm absolutely.
Have you enjoyed the Euros?
You don't listen to the show.
Knock me over with a feather right
every
now.
day. There's something that people just look at me with.
Have you enjoyed the Euros and the Copa, Mr. Soccer Boy?
Have I? Holy cow! What a month! I mean, what now that England, that's my team, is in the final on Sunday. Holy Toledo! Sunday is going to be one long drink. I can't.
Soccer.
I'm so excited.
All right.
I'm so excited.
Mr. Nagler, less than a week before quarterbacks and rookies, and then a little bit after that, camp opens. And we look forward to seeing you up there in Green Bay.
Can't wait. See you guys then. Go Pack, go.
All right. Coming up, Banger Rejoin, we got Josh on the wheel.